Blackface, it's always been a very disturbing behavior that since I was a child, I never understood the obsession that whiteness had with black people to the point of torment, torture, murder, lynching, and that people would bring their families with their children together to mock the ways that black people were killed. And I think that black people, black Americans specifically, because that's my culture and my country, so I'm going to always just speak about what I know, which I think is safe for anybody to speak about your experience, not your perception about a people based upon the fact that you have digested propaganda or whatever it is that you think you know. You don't know what this is. And you're being born in America, first, second generation, you have no inherited historical reference for what black Americans are enduring or have endured and what we graciously endure with sanity that can only come from God. But I've always saw, and this is in light of now seeing China, has a Natasha doll, which is strongly linked to the name Natasha Harlins, who was murdered by a Korean person in 1991 in LA. But it's the way that other nationalities and ethnic groups somehow begin to feel some sort of rites of passage to hatred, to bullying, to mockery, to cruelty, because the God of this world, which is Satan, has given them a pass of no consequence. They are absolutely immune from any sort of consequence. But the fact that people would allow themselves to participate with such hateful, just bottom feeder type of ritualistic, satanic sort of activity is something that for black Americans we just have not been able to fathom. Even how do you respond to that? Because our response has been we don't humanly know how to respond. And so I want to address this. Even Chinese people, they've created this Natasha doll and they brutalized this doll. They even had created a hole for the general areas where Chinese males and females stick pencils lubricated inside of the genitalia. And it's marketed in their markets. And one Chinese content creator, along with like white supremacists, and I call it all Satan supremacists, because there is no way that a human being could ever allow themselves to participate in certain type of activities. So my question is, since there is not really a question but a statement, because there is always this push to somehow push this whole ideology of black people not being humans, but everything that first of all, no black person I've ever known in black America, we've never ever had discussions about being superior, never needed to, and we've never had discussions about being human, like superior race. We are in competition with none, but I think humans don't do that. So then my question to the people that constantly push for this supremacy or this need to be superior or push to identify people that are not human, I think that you're telling us who you are. So I think we're going to listen now and pay attention to the fact that non-humans are telling us that they are operating with an unnatural modus operandi. They are operating from a place that is not human. And they've always been telling us who they were. They've always been identifying and letting us know that they were not human, so that we don't have to be confused anymore about the fact that people embodying darkness could do things that are not human, could do things that operate under such a low vibration that you could not feel empathy. Like, that for me is dark and just grossly evil in a way that only Satan could conjure an idea that people could get pleasure out of tormenting others. Only Satan could do that. Thereby, only Satan's children could ever want to bring harm, even if you felt that a person, or even if you felt that people weren't human, the fact that we don't retaliate, the fact that we don't have an unction to vindicate ourselves is because most of this behavior is beyond our capacity to digest. We just don't know how to respond to entities and people that are occupied by darkness, that could desire to eat human beings. That's not human. To torture people, to use their body as relics, to create a object that you would call a toy for the pleasure of you basically doing the most vicious, foul, vile, unholy things. You're not human. I hear you. Black Americans, move accordingly. You're dealing with non-human species who are occupying bodies of individuals who have allowed themselves to be portals to the gates of hell. We don't know what to do, not because we're weak, but because we know we're not dealing with individuals that are taking orders based upon a conscience, based upon God, based upon a moral gauge. We're dealing with people that are operating with no sensitivity to things that humans use to navigate this world. We're dealing with very, very evil portals. People that really are haunted. They are possessed. And that goes for anybody that operates with an idea of feeling supreme. No human is living in a way that they are so invested in their inferior mind that they are constantly obsessed with an entire group of people that they not only need for them to be harmed, but they need to torture them. That is not human. And I think the only measure or standard of humanity that you all have is you keep focusing on humans. You keep focusing on entities and people that actually are human. And what you hate is that we can't hate the way you do.